earlier this week, we got a brand new beta. This brand new beta was 1.19.0.20, and one of my favorite things in today's beta is the new biome, the Mangrove Swamp. In today's video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about this new biome and a few other features. Let's get right into the video. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing as it helps out quite a bit and shows your support for the channel. Thank you. We're going to begin with wet dirt, also known as mud. If you want to get mud in your Minecraft world, it's a very simple process. Just grab a water bottle, interact, and voila, you've got your mud. But you can also use lingering water bottles and splash water bottles. But one thing I really wish that they could introduce is if you dump a water bucket over a bunch of dirt, then it would convert all that dirt into mud blocks. Like, that would be a very fast way to obtain mud really quickly. Of course, obviously you could just come over to the mangrove swamps and get as much mud as you need. But if you want to make mud at your base and not travel all the way to the swamps, then this could be a way of getting mud in your bases just really quickly. Now, on Java Edition, when mud was first introduced, weirdly enough, you could use potions to go ahead and convert all the dirt into mud. But within the new betas, it looks like you cannot do that. So I can only assume that Java got this change as well. Once you've got a bunch of mud, go ahead and go over to a crafting table, and you need to combine that mud with a piece of wheat. So grab your wheat, put that in the crafting grid, grab your mud, and then voila, you've got packed mud. Now the packed mud is going to be used to make mud brick, which then you can make mud brick slabs, mud brick stairs, and mud brick walls. And from my testing, you cannot use a stone cutter with packed mud to make your different stairs, slabs, or walls. Instead, you do have to go to the crafting table and you have to make them that way. But you can, however, indeed use a stone cutter on mud bricks. So that way you can make your slabs, your stairs, and your walls. You can also make muddy mangrove roots by combining a mud block with mangrove roots. Then you've got your muddy mangrove roots. Now, I'm definitely not the biggest fan of the muddy mangrove roots. In my own opinion, this looks a little bit strange. But hey, that's just me. Maybe you like it, maybe you can use it in your own builds. But I am definitely a really big fan of all the mud blocks. The mud blocks look really cool, and I'll definitely be using these in my builds in the future. But when I look at the packed mud, I definitely see a lot of potential for this one. So maybe you can use this for your pathways. Like, this definitely looks more like a path block in my own opinion. Like, it just looks really cool and really nice. We have the introduction of a wonderful new biome that is coming to the game. It is the Mangrove Swamps. I've been waiting for this biome to come to the game. Like a few years ago when we had that whole voting process, I definitely remember that Mangrove Swamps, this was one of the biggest things that I was looking forward to. Now, for some of you that might be confused about this, the Mangrove Swamps are not replacing the old swamps, tadpoles, and maybe fireflies. But when it comes to the Mangrove Swamps, this is going to be a new biome that'll generate alongside them. So you'll be seeing frogs, tadpoles, and maybe fireflies, as I mentioned, but you can also find the new mangrove trees. You can find propagills, which are growing on the mangrove trees and are going to act as the saplings, but you're also going to be seeing bees around the area, and the entire ground is made from mud. But other than that, that's basically all that we're really seeing in the mangrove swamps. But the question is, which out of these two biomes look better? Does the mangrove swamp look better, or the regular swamp? I guess only time will tell. Now let's say you want to make your very own mangrove trees. Well, you'll need to get yourself this propagill. The propagills grow on the underside of the mangrove leaves, and once you get them, you'll be able to plant them on either mud, you can plant them on grass, regular dirt, or even underwater. You can also grow propagills on moss blocks. I would also like to point out that if you break a propagill that's hanging, you're not able to hang them on the trees again. I really wish that we had the option of doing that just for the sake of decoration. Like, maybe if the propagill is hanging from a leaf, it cannot be grown up. But if it's on the ground, then you'll be able to grow it up. The propagills have 4 different stages of growth. This is stage 0, stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And at this stage, you're able to break them, then you can take them back to your base and grow them wherever you want. And I just now noticed a horrible thing. None of the mangrove trees have mangrove wood generating. That is a very horrible thing. Come on, Mojang, please fix this. And finally, to wrap up the mangrove stuff, we're going to talk about the block. You've got your stairs, slabs, and planks, fences, fence gates, doors and trapdoors, and signs, buttons, and pressure plates. We've also got the blocks that make up the trees. We have the leaves, the roots, the bark, the regular logs, the stripped logs, and the stripped bark. I definitely am a really big fan of this new wood type, especially the doors and trapdoors. let's go over some new changes to the Allay. If an Allay is holding any item, you're now able to rename them. If they're holding an item, you can now lead them. Now this is a much needed change, because if you were to go find these at a wooded mansion or find them at an outpost cage, then it would almost be a nightmare to take them home with you. You would have to give them an item in hope that they would follow you back home. Then if the Allay is not following the player, it will go really slow. But however, if you do give it an item and it follows you, then it will go a lot quicker. Oh no, poor squid. Squid, how did you die? You were in the water. But besides the tragicness of the squid dying, the Allay now has the brand new sounds, which it makes things a lot happier around the area. Next up, let's take a look at the gameplay changes and fixes. They fixed the bug where the warden temporarily could miss noticing vibrations, and the Allay would miss noticing note blocks that were being played. And the next one is very strange. It stopped the warden from getting angry at itself and inanimate mobs. Okay, that's actually kind of funny. I kind of wish I would have seen that. The darkness effect now adds a black distance fog that's similar to how the blindness effect works. Parrots, they now imitate the warden. The warden now has updated sounds. They allow the warden to preserve anger level towards despawned entities, and they fixed the eroded Badlands spawn placement error that caused it to fragment. And finally, we'll go over some new changes to the Skulk sensor. When you're eating or drinking anything in Minecraft, the Skulk sensor will now detect that. It will now also detect when you open containers. It can also now detect when you light a candle and when you unlight a candle. The Skulk sensor now detects when you're in lava. If you're crouching and you fire a bow, it will no longer detect that. But if you're crouching and the projectile hits the ground, then it will still cause a vibration. When you're crouching around the sensor, it will not detect anything. But however, if you crouch and walk over it, then it will end up causing a vibration. And finally, when the drip leaf changes states, the sensor will now detect that. Everything in today's video is definitely really exciting, and I definitely can't wait for the Mangrove Swamp to come officially to the game. Go and let me know, what do you think of the Mangrove Swamp biome? If you enjoyed today's video, then let me know by leaving a like on it, subscribe if you're around here, and for now, hope you have a logical day, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye!